Hey guys, it's Bree, so welcome to the floor of my kitchen. As you can see, my washing machine is behind me, and this video is going to be me showing you how I wash my cloth pads after my cycle has finished, my period's finished, and how I keep them soft in particular this video is about. I've slightly changed my routine. I've changed what I use to clean my cloth pads. I'm using soap nuts at the moment, and I'm going to be using white distilled vinegar to keep them soft. So those are things that you will need, but you don't need to use the soap nuts. You can just use your usual detergent. I just prefer them because they're 100% natural and 100% biodegradable, and I've been keeping a really close eye on the machine to check that it's working fine as well. So I have got here this is actually my bag full of all the cloth pads I use this month. You can see it's pretty full. And I also have in this bag some reusable toilet paper I use during the month as well, because I find it's much nicer against my sensitive skin when I'm on my period to use reusable toilet paper. So what I do is I literally just open my washing machine. With the reusable toilet paper, I just unzip it and throw that in there. With the cloth pads, you can just unzip it and put it straight in, but I do, hang on, I'm gonna scoot over here. I do prefer to just shake it out like this and just empty it right out into the machine. I just think it helps to get them, to speed up the process of getting them cleaner. And these are genuine soil pads. You can see, well, it's not very obvious, that was a panty liner, but I did use, these are all my genuinely stained pads, so you can see there the blood and everything. I'm just gonna grab out my things I use. So in here I have my little soap nuts. They're in a muslin bag that it comes with. There's about 4 or 5 soap nuts in here at the moment, and they will release the saponin, which is like the soap, when they're in the wash. So I'm just going to check them quickly because I think I might need to change these. You can use these same 4 soap nuts for up to 3 washes, but you do need to change them afterwards, and I think these ones might need changing now. So here you can see I have around 5 soap nuts. I live in a reasonably hard water area, so I like to, it says if you're doing a particularly dirty laundry, which cloth pads will classify as that because they are blood and it's quite difficult to get blood out of fabric. So I'm going to use 5 full soap nuts, and I just put them into the little mesh bag that they give you. The other reason I like to use soap nuts is because they're a natural water softener as well. And then you just do it up, and I like to just tie it in a double knot to make sure that nothing comes out, but really and truly you can just do a single knot. So like that, and then all that you do with this is throw it in the washing machine with the clothes, and that is all you need to do in terms of packing it. So the next thing is what you're going to put in the tray. So once the washing machine is actually loaded, then you can put in your other stuff. I've already loaded this one. So in here I have just a scoop of the Oxy powder. I just used the Tesco's one. It's a stain removing detergent. If you can afford Vanish, I would highly recommend it. I think it does work better than this. I just bought this to try it out. It does still seem to do the job, but I just recommend the Vanish one because it works a bit better. So I just put 1 scoop of that in there using the little scoop that they give you. Then in the fabric softening section of my machine, this is my detergent section, fabric softening section, and I never touched this one. The fabric softening section, I've just filled up to the max line with some of the Sainsbury's distilled malt vinegar. It's basically just distilled wiped vinegar. I believe in the US you can get like gallon jugs of this for $2. It really is not expensive at all. This costs 50p, and just for comparison, the fabric conditioner by Fairy, this is a 568ml bottle. For a 550ml Fairy fabric conditioner bottle is £1.50. So you save £1 by using this, and you can use the same amount. I do have a Fairy fabric softener 550ml bottle, because when I've finished using the Fairy up on my clothes for the moment, I'm going to use it to fill it up with the vinegar, so I can use the little measuring cap it comes with for the amounts in here. But at the moment I just fill up to the max line. You might be able to see some kind of little floating oil droplets. That's because I added some essential oil, peppermint oil, to this. I'm going to stop doing that though, because I actually discovered I'm not too bothered about the smell, and you have to use a lot of essential oils to counteract the vinegar. Vinegar is naturally deodorizing, so it just gets rid of any smell. So your clothes will come out being fresh and clean, they just won't have any sort of scent to them at all. So that's why some people add essential oils. I cannot seem to find the balance, so if any of you have any tips, I'd really appreciate it. I've put almost a whole bottle of 10 ml of peppermint essential oil into this 568 ml bottle, but it still isn't enough to, the clothes will come out smelling of peppermint, but by the time they dry, the vinegar has deodorized it, so there's absolutely no smell. So that's why I'm going to stop it afterwards. But I will just close that up carefully, and then I will set the machine to run. So to wash the pads, I have discovered that the best thing for me to do is to put it on a 40-degree cycle Cottons wash, and this will get the pads completely stain-free, clean and stain-free without me needing to do anything. This, I had to pause this to start it again because I forgot to put the OxiClean in, but as you can see, it takes 2.5 hours to do this wash, and it's going as it is now. So I'll come back in 2.5 hours. So once your washing machine is done with washing them and spinning them, you can open it up and just have a little look in here just to check that the pads aren't stained. So there's an overnight pad, you can see it's pristine. There's no stains on any of this by the look of it, which is good. So then these feel okay to me. These don't feel like too damp or anything. So I would probably take these out and just hang them up to dry on an airing rack. So just a dryer that I put near a radiator so that the heat helps to speed up the process of them drying. If it was a summer, I'd put them outside maybe if it was a nice day, although it's currently nighttime here, so I couldn't do that. But I actually have a washer dryer machine, so I'm going to tumble dry them now on low heat. Tumble drying them obviously uses more energy, which is something people want to avoid. Quite a lot of the time I'm using cloth pads to help with the eco side of things, so it's not a necessary step by any means, and I usually would skip it, but I'm just going to show you how I would personally dry my pads using a tumble dryer. So if you did decide to use the soap nuts, I always just grab them out at this point because they don't need to be in there, and I think it's better for them not to be. I then will switch my machine onto the drying function, and I'm going to select delicate drying when this thing stops loading. So you have to turn it to do weird things. So delicate drying, and then I'm actually going to decrease the amount of time it's going to spend drying. I'm only going to dry it for 40 minutes. It is 40 minutes, it just takes time to show that. For 40 minutes, and if there's still a bit damp, I will just let them air dry, but just letting them spin for a bit of time in the heat will help to keep them soft if you're having a problem with that. So when they're done in the tumble dryer, I will just put them out on a rack like this. It's not stained, just the shadow there, I just realised. Yeah. 40 minutes in a tumble dryer on a low heat won't be enough for these to be dry, but it significantly decreases the amount of time they take to air dry. Even feeling some of these, they are pretty much almost dry. The heavier pads will still take longer, but they are a lot better. So it just speeds things up if you want them to dry quicker but don't want to use up the energy to get them completely dry. And it does still make a difference. These bamboo fabrics, for example, this is bamboo velour, feels much softer already. So it just helps to keep them soft. But I hope you found this video helpful, guys. This is just what I do if I want to keep my pads a little bit softer. Like I said, you don't have to do the tumble drying method. It's really the distilled vinegar that helps to keep them really soft. So you can get it at your local supermarket, and it works not just for softening the fabric in the washing machine on all things, clothes included, not just cloth pads. It can also be used to clean the washing machine, to keep it running. If you do, I think once every 2 to 3 months, put half a cup's worth of vinegar in the washing machine, do it on the hottest wash cycle you have. It helps to keep everything running. You can also use distilled white vinegar as dishwasher rinse aid. That's what I use it for. You can also use it to clean the dishwasher. You can use it to wipe down surfaces. There's a lot of things you can do with distilled white vinegar, so it's definitely worth having some of your house. And I know that at Tesco's, Sainsbury's is the one that's nearest me, which is why I had the Sainsbury's one. It's 50p for the 568ml bottle, but it's 39p at Tesco's. So if you specifically want to get that, you can get it from Tesco's, and it's definitely cheaper than traditional fabric softener. But I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Please subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.